Major companies are betting big on artificial intelligence as powerhouse stocks like Nvidia soar in 2024. But the incoming administration could cause some shakeups in the government's approach to the tech industry. Trump picking longtime venture capitalist and former PayPal chief operating officer David Sacks to be his White House AI and crypto czar. Here to react is Constellation Research founder and principal analyst Ray Wang. Ray, incoming crypto czar David Sacks, and there's a crypto-friendly SEC pick, Paul Atkins. Bitcoin just hit $100,000. Here's my question. Are we sure that crypto-friendly is bullish for crypto prices? And what I mean is Bitcoin has been running up for years with uncertainty and kind of open-ended predictions. If we're going to get more clarity and guidelines, are investors going to stay as excited as they have been about crypto?
Jack, they definitely are. Crypto and AI are the top two priorities in the Trump administration, partly because we want to be number one in the world in those two technologies. A lot of cash, I'm saying billions, have gone into the UAE and the Middle East because the rules are clear there, and a ton of talent has moved over there. So if we have clear regulation, that means people are going to move their talent back to the U.S., and more importantly, crypto is going to play a big part of what we're going to do next. The second piece is there's a crypto act that's being proposed that says a certain percentage of the U.S. Reserve will be held in Bitcoin, and that's what's driving the price up, not anything else. And then we've seen quietly in the background, there are institutional investors that have actually made large purchases in Bitcoin and have put those into their holdings already in anticipation of that. So this run-up is going to continue past $100,000, maybe even to $200,000 per coin.
All right, let's turn to AI. Massive sums being spent on chips and data centers. Sometimes I hear ordinary consumers, they'll look at the latest AI features on the iPhone, and they say, well, no big whoop, really. So is all this AI money being wisely spent? What do you think are the next types of companies to benefit from this?
Jack, you're absolutely right. The money's being spent into the chips at the moment, and in the future it's going to be spent into the data centers, and of course that moves out of the hardware into the networking. But the real money that's being spent inside companies and software companies, and then of course user companies like a Walmart or like an Uber, that's where we're going to see the results. If you look at Walmart, for example, they were able to use dynamic pricing, the ability to actually change the way they do logistics to actually use AI and put that into use. If you look at Uber, they could do ride batching, which means a driver could actually add more rides, get more fares per ride, and that actually drives up profitability. So the companies that are starting to use AI are going to be the next wave that you're going to want to bet in, like a Walmart or like a Costco or like an Uber that's actually putting it into use. The other piece is, as we start looking at the software companies that are going to benefit from all this investment, just like we did in the internet, we had the infrastructure, we finally put in like the computing, then we find the hardware vendors are all building it out. It was the software companies that made the most, the SaaS companies that took advantage of the revolution. There are going to be AI companies that are going to take advantage of that, and it might not be the same cloud companies we know today.
How do you think the AI race between the U.S. and China will develop? The U.S. has NVIDIA, the top chip designer. China claims Taiwan as its own, and Taiwan has Taiwan Semi. That's the best chip manufacturer. So who really holds the power here, and where does it go?
Well, it's going to come on two fronts. One is the chip technology, and TSMC is probably the top in the world because they can get it down to like the smallest chips, the more dense chips that need to go out the door. China would love to claim Taiwan, and me being Taiwanese, I'm going to tell you that might not happen. But the real story isn't that. The real story is there might be another set of chip technologies, as every single one of the Mag 7 is paying NVIDIA the money to actually be able to get into AI. Every one of them is also trying to develop their own chips. And so the companies that can actually make it, like we're here at the Amazon reInvent conference, they've been building their own chips in Infineon and, of course, Infineon to be able to get these new chips out the door.
We got about 30 seconds. I just want to ask you about banks. You recently wrote that they're poised to profit from a big tech M&A rebound. Tell me about that.
Well, they are lining up because of Lina Khan. Antitrust was held up. The whole point of antitrust is to protect the consumer. Well, we ended up with no M&As, no IPOs, which means innovations never got to the market. The banks are gearing up like crazy because now the M&A pipelines can be hot, and IPOs like Stripe, ByteDance, and others are actually going to be, Databricks are going to be out the door.
Thank you, Ray Wang.